Welcome to Frequency Friday from Camp Disclosure. My name is Jennifer. I'm one of the co-producers here at Camp Disclosure. And I have Christy on with me. And I also have Amanda, but Amanda doesn't have her screen on. So definitely do us a favor real quick. Make sure that you drop a comment down below so we can make sure that you are seen and hearing us. Also, share this out with your friends. Give us a thumbs up, a likes. We want to start doing these shows. We have 4 viewers right now. Definitely got a comment. I'm doing a sound check, so just bear with us. We can make sure that you are seen. You can hear us. Ladies, can y'all say something so I can make sure we can hear y'all too?
Hi.
Hey guys, happy Friday.
Woohoo! We're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So you're viewing this inside of our free community on Facebook, and we're getting the thumbs up loud and clear. That's wonderful news. And we just wanted to pop on and start these shows, doing them every Friday, counting down to Camp Disclosure. If you haven't already, make sure you go buy your tickets because we do have to cap out, guys, on this event with everything that's going on. We may be able to get additional seats later, but if you really want to come, make sure that you do get those tickets. So, yeah, Christy, Amanda, do y'all want to say anything?
I want to say, wow, Jennifer, that's the first time I had seen the intro. I hadn't seen it yet, and it was wow. It was really awesome. You're really great. Thank you for all your work. Jennifer's been working super hard to produce all our awesome graphics. And so thank you for that. That was really good.
Yeah, I was blown away. Awesome job.
I'm having too much fun doing this in the background, if you guys can't tell. But yeah, like last night I put it together and I was fishing around for music and I wanted something kind of frequency, and that came in and I played it all the way through and it just fit perfect with everything, and I'm going with it.
It's really good.
Thank you
for doing that. It's really good. And thank you for doing these shows. What a great idea. I love it. I think, this one is our first one. So I think we thought of it yesterday. So
yeah,
brilliant work. Amazing work putting all this together so fast. And I know all of our speakers, we've been talking to them over the past week, kind of getting them geared up for camp and telling them about all of this. And many of them wanted to be on tonight, but had other plans. And I know they all are wanting to be on future Fridays. We're going to be doing it every Friday. And you just never know who's going to be here. We share the link every week with all of our 20 speakers or so, and we just invite them all when you can come on. I know you're going to try and feature a certain speaker every week moving forward, though, right?
Yes. We're going to be featuring 2 different speakers. It's going to kind of still be a round table. But we really want you guys to know who is coming to Camp Disclosure, what Camp Disclosure is all about. And, it's not just about us. It's all of us co-collaborating and working together to help flip this planet. And that's one of our, upgrading the human experience is the topic of our show tonight. That is one of the most important things here at Camp Disclosure. And, it's very important. So, getting the message out and sharing with y'all, everybody that's coming, what they do, what they're about, what they're bringing to the table, and helping you, because it's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes, not just putting together this event, but all the speakers out there and everybody who's getting this information out to you. It takes a lot of work. So we want y'all to get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, and I just figured out this is my first time ever doing a live stream, and certainly ever using this platform. So I just figured out how to do the chat. So I see some people making some comments, and someone asked where we're from. I'm from North Carolina, a little small town on the border between almost to South Carolina. It's Columbus, Tryon area. And where are you from?
I'm based in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from. And Amanda, where are you calling in from? Can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out too, obviously. Sorry. I'm calling in from Carolina Beach, North Carolina, about 6 or 7 hours from Unicoi. So I'll be driving in and just love what you guys are creating. So excited to be a part of it.
What we are creating. I mean, there's literally so many people who have contributed to making it happen. And, everyone, even if it's just, a little thing, a small task, an hour here, an hour there, all adds up. And just if so many people didn't pitch in, that it couldn't happen. So I'm always feeling so grateful for everybody. And so someone asked, I see in the chat, who our special guest is.
Well, we've got a couple of people that said that they were going to pop on, so we'll see. Again, like this came in, but the ball started rolling of trying to get it together on Wednesday. So we announced it yesterday to the guys. Some of them said that they could pop on. That's why I put with special guests to you got to come on and see. So we're going to wait and see if somebody does come on, but we really wanted to get this information out to you guys, and we have some other important things, like what does upgrading the human experience mean to us? And for me, just Christy, you go ahead. And
well, I did want to mention that Karila Anhara is what I think going to be on, and the way it's coming up for me, I don't recognize. It just says Facebook user in the chat. So someone says I'm here, but I don't know who it is. And I don't know if that's a setting that I have to fix, but just keep saying Facebook user. So I don't know who's saying what. I'm just seeing the question.
No, it always does that. And
Okay.
Yet to figure it out. But
Karila Anhara, she is going to hopefully be our special guest.
Christina asked. Christina, you're the special guest.
Yes, Christina Lee Dobbs is a special guest. You should sign on, Christina. We're going to actually highlight. We are going to highlight a piece of your work, but yes, but let me just say, I was going to say Karila is calling in, but she's calling from the UK, so it's 1 a.m. there, and so we're hoping that we're hoping she'll call in, but if she doesn't, it might just have been too late for her. So we'll see. Yeah. So what do you have there, Jennifer? You want to show Christina's piece since we're on her? I see her saying no.
Absolutely. And we got Juliet that's popping on already.
Awesome. Hi,
okay.
Juliet.
So real quick, hey Juliet, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a crazy day, but I'll call you later.
Juliet will be doing our creative meditation movements at camp. So I wanted to show this off because we're going to be having this. Christina Lee Dobbs, if y'all don't know who she is, y'all definitely need to go follow the girl and get you one of these bad boys. This right here, she did probably a year ago for me. I absolutely love it. I have it by my router. I sleep better. I needed something for protection at the time and for grounding, and definitely got it. She puts a lot of heart and soul and intention. These are personally crafted for you. She will be putting on a workshop how to make these and also selling other things and pyramids at Camp Disclosure. This is something that is all about upgrading the human experience. All these healing pyramids, the different healing modalities that we will be speaking about and showing you, the hidden tech, all of these things that have been suppressed from us. It's important that y'all know how to what they are and what they're used for and how they can benefit you.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah,
they're really beautiful, and like Jennifer was saying, they're specifically made for you if you want that. If you want to have a specific purpose or a specific stone or specific intention, she is very intentional about how she makes them. They're really special, and Christine is really special, and we're super happy she's going to be back this year to do a workshop for us.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I want to give another shout out to Christina since we're shouting praises on Christina right now. She has started a Starseed meetup group in Beaufort, North Carolina area. And she has a group, started a Facebook group, and to try and meet up, have more people meeting up, which is one of our main topics of camp, is creating community. We know how important that is, and staying connected, and how they don't want us connected, and they don't want us getting together. And you know, we showed them last year that they can't stop us getting together, I think. So this year, yeah, we're going to be getting together more and more and more. And, you know, it's interesting, and I'm so happy to hear that there's been several little groups from Camp Disclosure last year that have met up over the year. You know, a few in Florida here, a few in the beach there, and up at Jenny Byers' place. And so I'm just so happy to see that community continues throughout the year. And I mean, I've made so many awesome friendships, like Amanda last year, and Jennifer this year, and now Juliet, meeting you guys. And yeah, it's just, I love it. So
well, that's how we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna flip this planet. That's how we're all gonna create the new Earth, is if we all start coming together and co-collaborating and rebuilding. It starts with us, and it starts with getting together. Like they know me. We had a spring meeting, guys, and I drove 14 hours from Houston all the way up there.
Yeah.
And I don't leave Texas that much. So but I was dedicated. I take my role here seriously. We all have a mission, and I feel like it's time that we all start stepping into it.
Yeah.
So.
And I just wanted to mention that meetup is the last Saturday of June. So it's coming up in 3 or 4 weeks. And I think it's just open to anybody who's, you know, wants to come hang out with us.
Awesome. You're going to be there, right?
I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
It's only 2 hours for me, so.
Yeah. Cool. Is it close to you, Juliet?
It's drivable. You know, I probably would stay overnight in a hotel or something, you know, or something like that, but it's drivable. So yeah, I'm planning on coming as long as my car's working.
Awesome.
Yeah, my car had to go in the shop today. Luckily, it's sort of having problems less than a mile away from the dealership, so hopefully it'll be fixed by then.
It will be,
yeah.
I'm sure. Awesome. So upgrading the human experience, or experiencing the human upgrade. What does that mean to you? You know, one thing that I'm just going to make this a brag show. So one thing that I'm going to brag about is how much effort our group has put into really developing the content and the theme, and you know, working with our speakers to really focus and hone in on certain things. So we spent a lot of time as a group talking about, well, what does that mean? What does it mean? Human upgrade. And we even made a post on our group lately, and it got a lot of interesting comments. So what do you guys think? What comes to your mind?
For me, it's healing our amnesia, you know, like learning what we forgot when we incarnated on this planet, and having access to all that wisdom and knowledge and abilities. So
yeah. So, and having, I think like having quicker access, you know, one thing I think about is rewriting programs, old programs. So the old program is you have to meditate for 5 hours a day, and you know, fast, and go to India if you ever want a chance of maybe getting access to these superpowers or these metaphysical abilities or intuition or bliss or whatever you want to call it. So one of my new programs that I want to write and kind of put out there into the collective consciousness is that maybe we don't have to do that. Maybe that people have already done that, and they've done that for us as a service to our collective. And so now we don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just quicker and easier for us. So I try, if I'm creating the reality, if my thoughts are creating the reality I want is instant access. I know that's what everyone wants, and maybe it's silly, and maybe it's naive and shallow. It may be. That's why we have these discussions, right? But you know, if we're going to upgrade, And with all this tech coming out, like these tachyon beds and people, not using fluoride and, activating their pineal more and more and more. Maybe it's possible. I don't know. Instant activation.
The monkey effect too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had this conversation the other day because I'm a firm believer that we are, when I had my awakening and I really started to, I became a course junkie and I was reading every book that I could get my hands on. And it wasn't until I read the Kabbalion that it was after I read the book, I was like, I know this. The book spoke to me and it confirmed my inner gnosis. Mm-hmm. And so there were people that I would try to explain in my life that I'm not taking or reading the books to learn it. I am remembering what's already inside of me. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how to explain it to anybody. Like I didn't know I was energy healing. I didn't know it was called Reiki or people were calling it energy healing. I was just doing it. So it kind of, because we're still in that 3D mentality and breaking out where everybody is so stuck on labels and words and defining, you got to give it a word so people can understand. I think a lot of what we're going to be seeing, especially in the new earth, is the remembering. Again, we came down here, guys, for a mission. It's just like the Matrix. The mission file is already uploaded in you. You just got to unzip it and start the program. That's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, one of the biggest things that I've seen kind of in the spiritual community that I think is kind of people getting off track is when people want to escape. They're like, I want to escape out of here. I want to be beamed off the planet. I want to leave. And we didn't come here to do that. We came here to be physically in our bodies, fully present. You can't be fully present if you're connecting with another human unless you are truly in your body. If you're up here in your head or you're out here, you're not going to be truly connecting. And I think for me, the biggest thing is being fully in your body and being focused and centered in your heart chakra and connecting with source and having energy come through source, through your heart chakra out to the world. And I think, and also having your will center be really strong. You stay focused on your mission and what you came here to do. And to me, it feels like right now, especially with this energy between the eclipses we're having right now, we're really in this transition point of transitioning from this old energy into the new energy. For a lot of people I know, it's been feeling really weird. A lot of emotional stuff's been coming up, recently because of all this. And to me, it's like we're these perfect beings, right? That come into this world and we get all these layers of bullshit piled on us. And so our job with the human upgrade is to remove layers of bullshit. Just remove it. All the untrue beliefs that people have laid on you your whole life that just aren't true, aren't real. Remove all that stuff and get to the core of who you are, which is this beautiful, pure soul that's incredibly powerful and incredibly strong and came here with amazing gifts to make a huge impact on the planet. And I feel like that's where we're at now. Is like I feel like a lot of last year was a lot of us were in digital warrior mode, and I think we're now in this process of shifting from warrior mode into, I don't really like the word light worker, but we're moving into the place where we actually are all going to be safe to share our gifts with the world. I think a lot of us have been kind of held back from sharing our gifts with the world because it really wouldn't have been safe last year to do it, but now it is. That's what I'm feeling, is a huge transition. So it's exciting, really exciting times.
Yeah, that's awesome. Gosh, so many things you said there made me think of things related to camp and human upgrade. But getting comfortable and normalizing superpowers or metaphysical abilities is definitely an upgrade. And I think a new program, it's just another way of saying a new program. Yep. But one thing you said, which is an important program that I'm trying to rewrite, is this idea of, like you say, people are like, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get off Earth. And to me, sometimes, especially lately, I'm like, dang, this Earth gig is not bad. It's pretty good. And once you learn those manifestation abilities, once you learn your body is technology and you know how to use it, and you realize that the mission and who you are, man, Earth's a good gig. Like Earth can be super fun, right? You got
Yeah,
this 3D stuff, this contrast, this duality. I mean, parts of it suck, and y'all know. And I know, we all have times, that it sucks and it's bad and it's sad. But sometimes, and a lot of times, it's really awesome. Even the contrast can be good. Even, I have had some sad moments lately, and even in those sad moments, it's like rich, though. It's still rich. It's still experience. It's still earthy and ground. I don't know. It's human, I don't know. I like being a human, and I like being on Earth. I think it's pretty fun. So, because, if we, like many of us believe, we've been on other planets, we've been living in outer space, we've been doing, all these other things. We go out of our body in our dreams. It is fun to feel grounded on the Earth. And hey, since keeping in the theme of bragging, I'm going to brag on Juliet next. And then you, Amanda. So Juliet, I met her at our spring organizers meeting, and I think Christina had invited you, and Christina has brought so many people to our group. Thank you, Christina. And with just the first few minutes that we were chatting, she's telling me like, hey, I could get involved and participate in this way and that way and this way. And she did this. She didn't even do a meditation with me. She said what I would do and described the meditation that she would do with people. And just her describing that meditation made me feel just like you're saying, in your body, powerful, grounded, and present in the moment. And so I'm like, yeah, definitely, we got to get a spot for you. So thank you for doing that. That's something we're doing different this year. A lot of conferences, people say, just go there and you hear speakers all day long, and then you don't get really much time to interact, or you feel kind of like overwhelmed. And so we were really conscientious about our schedule this year. And every morning we're doing a group. That was before I'll come back to that. But that was another concern that people said was that when you have a lot of stages, people get split up and it's not cohesive. So we wanted everyone to stay in the group. So we don't have a lot of different stages. We do have 2 stages, but not a lot of speakers in the second stage. So anyway, everyone as a group doing meditation together in the morning. Every morning, 3 mornings for half an hour. Juliet will be doing one of them. And then every afternoon doing kind of probably Qigong. I think it's going to be our speakers doing Qigong, group Qigong every afternoon, kind of a movement thing. And then every night doing an ecstatic dance. So a lot of movement, a lot of opportunity for interaction. And so that's kind of new additions. Yeah.
That's why I love Camp Disclosure, because we have so many different things going on, and it's pretty much for everybody. And you can you want to experience the human upgrade, it's Camp Disclosure, because it's all these different activities. It's not just the speakers, it's the vendors, it's the healing hallway that we have going on, it's the ecstatic dance that we have at night. It's everything that we've got going on, the community, the connection with the Star family. It is a Star family reunion. And I think, you said it earlier, it's compared to last year, it is safer. It's safer for us to start stepping into who we really are and our authentic roles and why we came down here, regardless of how crazy it seems to other people, because as of right now, with the way the world is going, we're not so crazy anymore. So, yeah. And I think everybody can kind of experience that at Camp Disclosure. Like I'm bringing in people who are brand new that are kind of waking up to this, and we've got all different types of people. So that's why I love it.
Yeah. And so I wanted to go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we have the bazaar too, so we'll have all these amazing vendors. So they'll be shopping or being able to experience or get hands-on with the vendors that are all coming. So
yeah, we're trying really hard. We're all it's small, so we'll have probably only 15 vendors, and then also 15 healers. And so we're trying to be really picky and really look for those kind of esoteric, kind of not mainstream, kind of leading edge healing technologies and modalities and vendors. And yeah. And I wanted to say, just kind of give a little background on Amanda. I love Amanda so much. I think you were probably my favorite volunteer last year because we had not really met or talked at all until you just showed up like right at the start of it. And you're like, what can I do? And you were just like right there just pitching in, picking up like right where we needed you. And you were mainly there at the hospitality table, the check-in table. And so Amanda has so generously and graciously stepped into really just kind of a manager, a team leader of leaders on the hospitality teams and leading the volunteers. And it's a huge job. And so thank you for all your work on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And working with the speakers. I know you're working a lot one-on-one with the speakers, which is, I think that's a little bit different. We've really, one of our main goals from the beginning was that we want this experience to be a gift to not just the attendees and the organizers and the volunteers and the community. We want it to be a gift to the community, but we also want it to be a gift to the speakers. We want it to be a really special, kind of coveted position. Like, oh my gosh, did you get into Camp Disclosure this year? Because they work really hard all year, and it's not a high-paying job, I don't think. And so what they offer our community and the collective is so valuable. So we've kind of developed this special role that Amanda's doing to kind of give them kind of the white glove treatment and really take good care of them. And so far, the response, I think, has been really good. People seem to really appreciate that and like
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So upgrading the human experience. What else? Let me think. Anyone in the chat? Let me see if there's any comments on what that might mean to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I like that question. I was going to ask that.
Upgrading the human experience. So developing our superpowers. What else?
Upgrading our superpowers, activating dormant DNA. Well, me, I wake up and start being in a ritual, and I try to do my day as a ritual, which helps me get in alignment, because balance is being heart-centered and being in your body and grounded is really the key and the best way to navigate planet Earth.
Yeah.
So
that's it. That's something that I've struggled with is discipline and practice and routine and having a schedule. I've been a little bit, I lost my job at the end of last year because I told my patient that I didn't wear a mask on vacation. So I don't know, we'll have to bleep that out. We'll be already taken off, deleted off YouTube for saying that. But yeah. So what happened was I ended up getting a much better job that allowing me to work from home and give me a lot of free time. So it was actually a really good thing, and allows me to work on camp a lot. So yeah, so I haven't really had a lot of structure or routine in my life. That was never really taught to me, discipline and practice. And it's something that I'm starting to realize is important, and the value of it and what you gain from it. So that's something I think people from my generation, I don't know, I guess you could say latchkey children or whatever, the parents went to work. And I think that I'll speak for myself, I wasn't taught a lot of stuff. I wasn't necessarily an orphan. My parents would be so upset if I said that. I hope they don't watch this, but they went off and they did their thing. And so, I want to talk about discipline and practice. And I think that that's a thing in our generation or with our Starseed audience that, we could maybe try and emphasize and help people understand, like, oh, well, there are benefits to putting off the short-term gain for the long term. So I might be rambling here. I don't know.
No, I completely agree with you. Like, I've over the past 4 years, anything before I help my clients or I teach my clients, I've tried myself. I've done it. I, the different diets, what exercise does to your body, what happens when you are eating healthy and flooding, with whole food nutrition and all that stuff, and it plays a huge part. And I know I wasn't taught those things either. I'm a latchkey kid as well. My mom was a single mom who worked like 3 jobs. So she was hardly ever home. And that discipline, that structure was taught by me. And that, I didn't have it either. So it's not easy, but if you start implementing habits and doing it on a daily basis, don't beat yourself up if you wake up one day and don't do anything. I didn't exercise this morning, and I've been almost exercising or moving every morning since March. But I can feel a difference. And when you start implementing these habits, and it's simple things, and it's written in spiritual text, all the books that we're reading, they talk about meditating every day, journaling every day, eating high vibrational foods, all this stuff. And I think it's the matrix that keeps us from doing it because we're stuck in time and we don't have time to do that, or it's, we make excuses. It's easier to make an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely.
And it's just the mindful living, of having intention with every little thing you do, whether it's what you eat or how you spend your morning. All those little things add up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your morning plays a huge part in it. How you start your morning will determine your day.
Well, I think this is a whole topic for one of our future shows, but when I started thinking of discipline as self-care, that helped me because I'm a psych nurse. I'm always preaching self-care. You got to do your self-care, and it's more. That doesn't mean just bubble bath, or taking a walk in nature. It could also mean discipline and practice, and taking care of yourself in that way. I don't know.
I think for some people that tend to be very strong service to other people,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of a workaround little trick you can do in taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Think of your future self as a different person, right, than you now. And all these things you're doing are to help your future self.
Yeah.
So that can kind of be a way to trick the brain that doesn't want to take care of you.
Right.
Other people. That's a different person, your future self. So.
That's right. And Karila's not here yet, but if she gets on, she'll talk more about this. She got me interested in shadow work, and she's going to maybe talk a little bit about shadow work. And the way she did it was using a very similar workaround little trick, because she presents it as, look, if you want to save humanity and save the world, the best thing you can do is make yourself more powerful by doing your shadow work, because your shadow work's just dragging you down and holding you back and not letting you be that powerful, effective manifester that you want to be. And so, it's that workaround. It's like, oh, so if I do this shadow work, I can help others more. Okay, fine, I'll do it. And she, it's silly, these little mind tricks that we do. But she also made it sound fun. And I got to thinking about it and kind of it sounds so bad, shadow work, but really it's just not that hard, and it's really kind of easy and fun when you just think about it. It's just thinking about the way you think about things and maybe changing it. It's just rewriting the program, right? It's just identifying one of those old programs that doesn't work anymore and deleting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not so bad. And then it's like, oh yeah, I can do that.
I'm like that. It's 24/7, where before, when I get triggered, I would lash out, where now I'm like, ooh, what's this I can work on?
Right. Yeah.
Like, let's get to the root of that. Because here, when I first did it, let me tell you, when I first thought of it that way, it was someone was purposely pushing my buttons to trigger. So then I was like, I'm going to fix this where it doesn't. So it's kind of empowering at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But it also allows you to see yourself in a different way, and also review at the end of the day that you know, like you said it earlier, the only person that's holding you back from being where you want to be is you.
Yeah.
So these triggers, working on your shadow work, all these things are we make it so hard that our ego and our conscious mind makes it like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. But the more that you do it and the more you get into the habits, of doing it, it gets easier and easier to walk through the fire. So it's layer upon layer, like you said. So
here's a question for y'all, and I don't know if this is one of our topics or not for a future show, but I don't think it is. But someone asked me the other day, I think Arignani asked me, what does New Earth look like to you? If this was New Earth, if we were living it now, if this was it, and here we were, what would be different? What would be different?
We'd fix the animal agriculture, and only raise animals humanely and for righteous meals. That would be one of my first visions for sure. You know how I love my pigs.
Yeah.
Edible gardens everywhere.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, instead of lawns. Yes.
Instead of throwing and wasting food out at the grocery stores, it can go to the homeless.
Common sense stuff like that.
Yeah. But it happens way, like in the food industry. I worked in the food industry, and the amount of food that they throw out, and it's illegal to give it away because they've put a stipulation on that. It's crazy.
We collect it for the sanctuary from some of the grocery stores around here. So we're lucky enough to have some connections where they give it to us for the animals.
I think that's so cool. For you guys that don't know, Amanda works with pig. Is it all pigs or all different kinds of animals, farm animals?
We've collected a lot of different species now. We have goats and alpacas and chickens, but it started with pigs that were needing homes after it flooded after Hurricane Florence.
Oh. So I love seeing pictures of you out there like curled up with a huge giant pig in the mud. It looks totally fun.
So that's kind of I've created my new earth, is just being out in the nature with all these amazing, smart, brilliant beings. They're so sweet and smart, and they forgive us. They grew up in these factories and they trust us and forgive us, and it feels good to have that energy around you.
Yeah, definitely more nature. We are, that's by design that we work and live in boxes, in these houses a box, and your office is a box, and you get in your car, which is a box, so you go from box to box to box. Oh no, yeah, that's one of the blessings of my job change is I'm working from home now, and it's oh man, such a blessing.
You travel by Merkabahs.
Yeah.
Travel by Merkabahs.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is part of the new earth of living out your purpose of why you were created, and not living in the box, and working in the box and
not being a slave.
Yes, not being a slave to the system. Like everybody gets all hung up on the racism and the slavery, but doesn't matter. We're all slaves. Period.
Until we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Used to be. In the past we were.
Yeah, I'm no longer. I had the conversation with somebody today. I was like, not me. I don't play that timeline,
Right. Rewrite the story. Here's one. I think a New Earth or 5D, we'll all have telepathy.
I believe that too.
So I've been trying to live my life as if, for the past couple of years, as if everyone can already read my thoughts, as if we already have it. And you change your thoughts. You have to be it really keeps you on your toes when you think everyone can read your thoughts. You might be thinking like, I don't know. You might be thinking a not so nice thought about someone or something, and you don't do that. It breaks you of that habit if you really just kind of try and act that way, as if everyone can read your thoughts.
That's a great idea.
Well, I think that's why I kind of struggled when I was younger with grammar and the English language. I never understood it because speak telepathically anyways. So it was like getting there, but that is something that I live by. Like, where are my thoughts? And if somebody can read them, because guys, there are people out there that can read your thoughts.
Right.
Like if you start living that way, you're really going to catch yourself like, and that goes into mindfulness, being mindful and living in the moments and understanding what's going on up here. If you're paying attention, the more you start paying attention, then you're really going to, that's stepping into your power. That's realizing the powerful being that you are. You can really take it to the next level and start manifesting and setting intentions and honing in on your gifts. But it really does start with just like what you said. And that's an excellent way of start walking around like everyone's reading your thoughts.
Yeah. And then maybe I haven't tried this yet. I might try this, start to try to read other people's thoughts. I don't know. So I was dating this guy who could read my thoughts, right? And that's, annoying in a way. Like that's kind of invasion of privacy. Like he didn't like it when I would go look on Facebook, like that was invasion of privacy. But yeah, he could read my thoughts, and that's not invasion of privacy. I don't know about this,
Well, he was that dialed in that he could literally, wow.
Dude, I mean, random stuff that there was no way, and just too many times and too many coincidences, and yeah.
Wow.
We'll have to see if people in the future are going to be like Magneto and start wearing them helmets.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've been trying to manifest or construct some energetic shield to block the ability for anyone to read my thoughts. But I guess in the future, it's just there. You just can't hide your thoughts. You no lies. Everything's transparent. It's a good way to.
We have contact. Think about that, man. Like you get an ET walking up, they already know what you're thinking before they're even walking up, and start talking to you that way. So think about that too. Like it's not just the communicating telepathically between ourselves, but we have powerful star beings that have been watching us. And I know when my gifts started coming online, I'd get all weird in the bedroom too. Like I'd be like, y'all need to just go away. Like I need my privacy. But they do, they watch, they see, they hear, they know all the time. So think about that, guys. Like, what are you doing when no one's watching? Because someone really is.
And it's all going in the Akashic records too.
Yeah, that too. Getting written down.
All right, here's another newer thing. Instant manifestation. Pro and con. Could be good, could be bad, because
not in today's collective thought pattern. No, thank you. We had that. Atlantis, hello.
Yeah. So I had a couple of things where I was like, how did I manifest that? And I was like, are you serious? I had one negative thought just for a little bit, just for a few seconds, and I'm going to manifest this now? Come on, give me a break. That's that instant manifestation. So that just keeps you on your toes. You have to be more like, I can't entertain those thoughts for a minute. This is the lesson that I learned, I took from it.
Yes. Oh, I have too. I'm a master manifester, and I've been tweaking it. And I mean, I manifested a lot of shit before I had my awakening. I just had to change my thought pattern, because it's those limiting beliefs and the shadow work and everything that's going to keep manifesting bad experiences to get you to learn.
Have you guys noticed a lot more synchronicities than normal recently? I mean, to me, the past couple months, it just seems like they're speeding up.
That's New Earth too.
Quickly, instead of I say,
oh my God, Geraldine is on.
And then there's a synchronicity that happens later in the day. It's like a few seconds now. It's like these stuffs are happening within seconds instead of hours. It's trippy.
That's New Earth too, synchronicities. Did you say Geraldine has joined us?
Yeah, she was sitting in the waiting room. I just saw her.
Hi, ladies. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Hi, honey.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm just coming in. I'm on the road and there's a little bit of bad reception out here.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you for joining us. We were just talking about upgrading the human experience. What does that mean? And also kind of similar, like what does New Earth, what does that look like? If we were in New Earth now, what would be different? And
Wow,
and so
that's
we,
an interesting topic. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry. Well, it's
So we
such a
talked
great question. And
go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I just was going to say we had talked about telepathy and we had talked about instant manifestation were the kind of two things that we talked about that would be kind of big changes in New Earth. So what are your thoughts?
Okay, wonderful. So you cut out a little bit, but I think what I made out from what you said is that you're discussing the new Earth and telepathy and I guess our human superpowers that become activated as we come into this new dimensional existence. I think that more than thinking of things externally that influence us, we have to think more about how the human comes online into this incredible expanse. And when we understand the mechanics of that, we can begin to affect our surroundings from the inside out. The beautiful thing about that is that we are co-creating the new earth one by one with every thought, every emotion, every action that we're taking. So little by little, each person that becomes aware of that ability comes online into a massive collective network of transformation. And that's kind of what's really exciting about the coming now and the education that you guys are providing, for example, on this platform, to be able to provide these tools and understanding of those mechanics of creation. So it's a really exciting time, and I'm very excited to be a part of it with you ladies as well.
Awesome. Yes. Well, thank you. I think you're right. It is exciting, and you're right. Yeah, we are creating it. We're creating it with our imagination as we imagine what it would feel like, as we imagine what it would be like, and as we start to act as if. I was telling him earlier, I've been acting as if people can read my thoughts and I can read theirs. I don't really practice reading theirs so much, but I have tried to just assume, and I know that there's people with the powers that can, they can read your energy and they can see your energy and they can read your thoughts. And so I've been practicing that. Yeah. And so that's just as I practice that and you practice that and other people practice that, it becomes more and more the norm. And next thing you know, our children are born with this just being a normal thing that you can read thoughts. And now that's a new earth manifestation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even there are many schools around the world that are now focusing on developing those psychic abilities in children, which is really amazing. And I mean, it really just speaks to the fact that we're just becoming aware of and uncovering very ancient technology that's a part of the body. It's literally an organic part of our technology, which has been there. But due to all of these processes in our evolutionary process since the beginning of time, I mean, we get distracted with the external things that occur around us and forget that actually we are the ones that are able to have all those technologies. So aside from that, we also tap in, people are downloading information about collective movements of how we can provide sustainable living for ourselves, for animals in nature, and cohabitate with all living organisms in a harmonic manner is really, really important, for the future and what we're creating. So hopefully that's kind of the unity consciousness that we're trying to create by having these conversations.
That's beautiful. And I love how you touched on the school system and the kids. I am so passionate about the kids right now because all the work that we're doing, they're the ones that are going to be coming in behind us. And I know I'm based here in Houston. I have a really good friend she's holistic and she's awake, and there's a school here that she has her son in, and they're when COVID hit, They didn't enforce the mask. They nurture each child with their imagination and encourage them to express their gifts and all this other stuff. And I'm like, we need more of this. This is what we need.
Wow. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. It really is something that as mothers, you know, even if we don't have children, we hold space for that. I think education is so incredibly important, not only just for the children, but also for the parents, because we are also going through an awakening process. The parents are going through an awakening process where we're just becoming aware of our intuitive abilities, even authenticity in communication and expression with children is something that, unfortunately, due to societal suppression and this illusion that we are separate and we have to be in a constant state of survival, we've kind of disconnected from these abilities over time. And so more and more we come into this incredible state of authenticity with our children. We begin to talk about things that are occurring without trying to hide or suppress the concepts of emotions that we perceive as negative. Instead, looking at those things as something, as tools to help us proactively co-create something that is good for everyone, not just themselves, but their classmates. You know, again, it's like these movers and shakers instead of victims of the things that are happening around. So that is incredible.
Yeah.
I watched a show a couple about maybe 2 weeks ago, and it was on. I found it through Amazon, and the name of it, I got so upset with the way they named it, but it was called "The Ghost Inside My Child," and it was about these kids who these parents, and a lot of them were being born into really religious families, and they were remembering past lives. And what got the parents' attention was that these kids at the age of 3, like one was the writer of Gone with the Wind, knew that the guy's daughter's name, the property he lived on, how he died, details. 3-year-old telling his parents that. And I was really proud of the parents for, instead of like shutting him down and putting him in a psychiatrist or you know what, the moms and the dads were immediately researching this information, and they were like, there's no way that he would know. He's had to have a past life. And I have a personal friend who is a medium, and she helps her children and also other parents to help these kids that are coming in, because I remember things now where I was full blown open, but it was over the years that it got shut down because that didn't exist. I was active imagination. And so I'm also seeing it, because we're going through the awakening too, that these kids that are coming in, they're starting to say things that are really getting the parents' attention, and they're starting to take notice. So it's beautiful to see it.
It is. And, you know, the other part of that, and one of the things that I'll be talking about at the conference, is how this information is literally brought down through our genetic lineage. We are literally holding within our DNA.
You cut that.
How we see the world around us. And it's really incredible how through this kind of healing, things like everything from DNA reprogramming to hypnotherapy to this kind of therapy that allows a person to reintegrate themselves in moments of trauma, are able to affect not just themselves but their children, and vice versa. So and the other part of that is that every single human that is incarnating in this current timeline is an exact.
Oh, we missed it.
Yeah, it is an exact. Wait, you broke up a little.
Oh, here she comes back.
To be continued. You have to buy the ticket to find out more.
There she is.
Hey.
I got disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard exact, and then that was it.
Okay, well, the exact purpose of these vibrational frequencies that are incarnating, and they come into these families with specific information to assist them in healing that ancestral trauma, that cyclical program. So it's really amazing. And the wonderful thing that's happening now is that what's happening is we're becoming aware of that. So we have an opportunity through that awareness to fix that. Our children will be affected, we are affected, and again, we're obviously affecting the collective. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that at the conference. But
I love that topic. I had that self-realization about a year ago that out of me and my sisters, I'm probably the closest, like my mom, and she had a lot of trauma. And I was realizing that I was the place that I was at that moment in time, I was helping clear up that past trauma, my grandmother's past trauma, and that my son clearing up his, he was coming in to help me clear that. And I kept telling my little sister that. I was like, that's what we're doing. You're, you know, if you don't feel like you're doing anything to help the collective, you're breaking ancestral trauma right now. And that's that's the big thing. So I'm so glad I can't wait to hear you talk, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so great. Thank you for confirming that. I mean, I hear this all the time from my clients that they have these realizations, and it's just, we are able to see the science of it, and we're also able to see the spiritual aspect of it. And I think it's amazing that we're finally at that point where we can connect those two and use them. So yeah, thank you.
Well, what else?
Was there anything else that you guys wanted to discuss, or anything else I can help contribute to?
Yeah, let's see. So our topic is upgrading the human experience. We talked about telepathy and instant manifestation being one thing that is kind of going to be new and different for us, and that we're learning how, to be more particular and disciplined with our thoughts because of that. It's teaches us quickly, to monitor those. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh my God, we could talk a very long time about that, but I mean, we all know our subconscious minds are actually what dictate and what create. So, one thing to remember is that we often think that we have to wear masks, to hide what we truly feel, what we truly think. But I think what that is teaching us, what you just said right now, is that the more we come in and be okay with what we truly are, the feelings and the emotions that we have, even if they look ugly or uncomfortable or strange, our ability to integrate and understand those emotions help us clear out knots of energy that are literally being created in your energetic field. And they either help you in your manifestation or they block your manifestation. So that kind of emotional flow in complete truth is one of the most powerful things. But yeah, so that's a really important topic. I'm glad you guys brought that one up.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yeah, and I think that the more we can be comfortable with being open, raw, real, and completely vulnerable in public ways, the more we give other people permission to do the same.
Exactly.
We make it okay to do that.
Yes. It's true.
It's not easy. I don't. Well, Christy, you saw my post today. I've been stepping in, and it's taken me a while. I have a business too, and doing coaching and everything like that. And when I first started, it was, Geraldine hit on it. I was trying to manifest, and then I realized I had a shitload of blocks and limiting beliefs and all these stuff that came up that I had to clear out. And I realized at the end of the day, being the word being authentic gets thrown around. Like even in the marketing, I see people marketing their coaching program and saying that they're authentic, but they're not really. It's like they'll skim on the surface of what they're being authentic about. But, we all came here. Everybody has some type of trauma or experienced or something they're ashamed of or whatever. And the more that we speak about it, we can all realize that we're all the same at the end of the day. And if one of us does it, it gives the other person courage to speak up as well. And I think that's important. I was realizing I was doing a disservice to the collective by, worried about what everybody, oh my God, this stuff from my past is going to come up. Someone's going to say something. I wouldn't be here now if I didn't have that experience.
Yeah, that is so amazing. But the thing is, you had the awareness. A lot of people, I think it's that we forget that we have permission to ask the question about, is it okay for me to be authentic? I think that's one of the things that we forget, that we create our safety for that authenticity. That has to be self-created. Nobody will give us permission. Nobody will make it more comfortable. And that's oftentimes the part that is the most difficult. But yeah.
And I want to just commend you, Jennifer. Putting yourself out like that, out there like that, and that kind of vulnerable raw way is very brave. And I think you nailed it, Juliet. You're right. By doing that, we're giving permission to others to do that. People want to put on the perfect face when you're on Facebook or you're on social media, you're out in public. You want to be out, pretend like you're just, I've got it all together, the smile and everything like that. And when you don't, you're right. It's a service to others to show your ugly side or your not perfect side, so that others can be like, oh, great. Now I don't have to pretend like I'm perfect too. I think that's cool. I like that.
I think something that, go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's possible. I think some people get stuck in, that's where we like compare ourselves to other and we separate ourselves, and I was that type of person that where I'm at now is where I wanted to be. But, a long time ago, I never thought that it could happen. And yeah, go ahead, Julie.
One thing that I think is a really empowering thing to share with people, especially if people have been through a lot of trauma, that can help people quickly get out of victim consciousness, is to realize that the strongest souls to incarnate here in this place have to agree to take on a lot of intense stuff to be allowed to incarnate here. And I think it's not just, a lot of it was the soul trap that was in place that's been removed now, the reincarnation soul trap. So that's gone now, but that was a big part of it. So really strong souls, they were like, oh no, you can't, you're going to have all these things to slow you down. I think that's part of it, but part of it too is Chiron, right? The wounded, the wounded healer. So a lot of us as healing, really strong, powerful beings, we come in and we take on all this intense trauma so we can learn how to process it, do the shadow work, figure out what tools help with processing that stuff so we can share them with other people, And so if you're feeling, I just want to say to anyone, if you ever feel like a victim, flip it and go, wait a minute. I had to deal with all this stuff because I'm an immensely powerful being, No, I'm not a victim. I'm a badass. So
it's true that I do that little trick sometimes when I'm starting to feel sorry for myself. Like, why are they doing this? Then I'll be like, look, God chose you to let them do this too because he knows you can handle it. So don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other part of that I'd really love to add is also the health issue. I think the kind of energies that we're going through right now, the entire universe, the world, is moving through a faster rate of vibrational frequency. And so that means that we're manifesting things in the physical quicker. And that also includes wonderful things, but it also includes when we hold on to these negative emotions and this resistance, it becomes physical quicker. So we can embody illnesses. The body comes out of balance. So that's something that is a part of, it speaks to the part of us that love ourselves, where we're choosing, because we love ourselves so much, no longer to follow those habits that are more self-destructive than creative. So there's so much involved. And the more we know, the more we see the importance of, choosing how we're doing things.
Definitely.
I agree. I completely agree.
So changing the topic, I do have a question. We're Camp Disclosure, and many of us have had, have regular interactions with extraterrestrials or remember our past lives on other planets and that kind of stuff. I personally don't, but I know a lot of our speakers, a lot of our attendees do. And so, Geraldine, I was just wondering if you have any experience with remembering past lives or extraterrestrials, anything like that.
Yes, actually, in 2013, I had a very conscious, vivid contact experience where I was literally taken out of my bedroom in Union City, California, and taken on board craft by 6 Greys and introduced me to a myriad of information from what the Matrix is made out of and the mechanics of the Matrix, as well as ET or interdimensional language, and also my hybrid children, which was incredibly shattering for my paradigm at the time because I hadn't linked those two in my life yet. And it wasn't until in 2017 that I had regression therapy that I began to understand what my other anomalous activity and phenomena that had been happening throughout my life was relating to. Everything from pregnancies to strange miscarriages, to seeing lights, missing time, experiences like this, and also medical anomalies that really made me understand that I had been interacting with the interdimensionals for a very long time, all my life.
Oh,
And
wow.
as a yes, and so beginning with my meditation work in 2008, I started to deprogram pretty early on all of this matrix programming. And I think what it did was allow myself to come into a state of neutrality where I started to look at this kind of contact as something more. And that's where I started to download information about our bloodlines and DNA and how it's holographic in nature. And it just kind of completely opened up in another world of spirituality that I never thought was possible. So yeah, pretty huge impact on my life personally.
And so you said it was the meditation that kind of started to open that up for you?
Absolutely. I think it was a point where I was meditating 8 hours a day.
Wow.
And I think that my vibration went up quite high during those times. And that's where I had the contact experience.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot of my contactees, I now own a support group at hybridmother.com. And a lot of people that come in from all around the world, they claim the same thing. Oftentimes, when they raise the vibrational frequency to a certain level, that's when they are now a match to interact with these beings. And oftentimes, some of them may perceive some things as negative, but that's because we're looking at things through this eyes of the unknown, right? So there's a lot of integration that has to happen after these contact experiences, and I became a hypnotherapist in order to provide that support, for that exact reason. So yeah.
Now, is other than meditating 8 hours a day, is there any other kind of powerful, I'm always looking for the most powerful, most effective, fastest, quickest way to raise your vibration or to get the access, for folks that can't meditate 8 hours a day?
Well, first of all, get acquainted, spend time on getting acquainted with what it means to love unconditionally. Because when you understand what that is, that's a life force. It's a creative life force. It's not an emotion. That creative life force is a state of expression of the body that we can tap into at any time, at any moment. And unconditional love is the ultimate creative life force that provides the body the ability to come into that alchemy of creation. It creates manifestation, it creates life, it can create health for the body. All of the human superpowers come online when we embody that level of awareness. So and it might seem so simple. Sometimes it takes a lifetime for us to understand what that means. But if you can start on that path, that is the quickest way to embody that state of neutrality that allows you to see truth, not only for yourself, but everything around you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for that. I mean, yeah, I can do that. That's something, I say that, but not flippantly, but I mean, I can absolutely strive to do that and strive to practice that as much as possible. Everyone has time for that. It's not like, oh, I can't make time. I can't, no, that's just something you do regularly in your daily processing of your mental state.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
nice. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for these great questions. And I guess my connection is becoming a little shaky. So I'll let you guys go if that's okay.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on over an hour. So thank you for joining us, Geraldine, and everybody, guys. Y'all can definitely check her out at Camp Disclosure. We are super excited to be having her this year. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, make sure you go get them.
Yes, go get those tickets. Thank you so much, ladies, for everything you're doing, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.
Yeah, guys. So I think we did a pretty good show for our first one. Not too bad.
Amanda says the pigs help her get to that state. I was reading the comments.
Awesome.
She says hanging with the pigs. Yeah. Awesome.
My cat does. I've learned a lot from my cat. Never thought I'd be a crazy cat lady, but I am. But yeah, I loved how Geraldine said about the love, and it's so important.
Yeah.
I think another really powerful tool for raising your vibration is coordinating your breath with your movement, because it helps you stay in flow state. When you're like if you're just walking, and you're focusing on your breath, aligning it with your steps as you're walking, it helps you get in this flow state where you almost feel like you're kind of just floating and moving with everything. And it's like, it's really cool.
I'm kind of trying to do it now, and I can kind of see how that could be really cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm going to try that.
I do that on the elliptical.
Yeah.
While I listen to my meditations, that's all trippy.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. One thing you had mentioned earlier, I think before Geraldine got on, was the synchronicity thing. And I wanted to share with you that last year at Camp Disclosure, it was a little bit chaotic because it was our first year. We've never done anything like this before. It was COVID, blah, blah, blah. I guess a million things. But I would say everybody, but so many people, if not everybody, said that they were overwhelmingly shocked and surprised about how synchronistic everything was. If you said, oh, hey, we need a table, someone walked by and said, oh, hey, there's a table right there. Or, wow. Just random stuff like that by the thousands. And we felt like it was that new earth in the flow state, high vibe environment. Magic. Yeah, magic. And even, yeah. And we felt that even with camp so far this year too. We just feel like that's the way we roll at camp. So knock wood.
Oh yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was really great for having planned this starting to plan this 1 or 2 days ago. Awesome work, ladies. Yeah.
Yes. And thank you everybody who's joined and stayed on with us and shared this out, and stay tuned for next Friday. We'll be a little bit more organized. If you haven't already, please make sure to go to the website, sign up to our newsletter list. I'm just going to stress that because, y'all are in Camp Disclosure. Y'all know what could possibly happen. But if you want to stay up to date, make sure you sign up to the newsletter. And again, tickets are on sale. Make sure that you are getting them. We do have some surprises coming to you in the near future in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for some updates. And yeah, we love you guys. Thank you. We are doing this for you.
Who is it? What's our topic next week? Do you know yet?
I can pull it up real quick. I had
a teaser so people can start thinking about what questions they might want to ask. And I think Eric said he's coming on. I think next week Eric Rain said it was his.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have some confirmations. I'll pull it up here in a moment. So we are getting them streamlined when we have the speakers on to talk. Getting a little bit more organized behind the scene, guys. Hold on, let's see if Google wants to work. And I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say Mercury retrograde with the tech, but man, the tech has been, it's been intense lately. So next Friday, we have unity in the community is very important, and that's where Carilla, she's already confirmed she's definitely going to be on. Tune in for her, guys, because she is over in London, so she's going to be calling in really late for you, so make sure that you stay tuned and tune in for that. We're going to be discussing unity in the community, overcoming ego challenges, triggers, conflict as shadow work, and service to others.
Dang, that's gonna be a good one.
We already prepped y'all because we talked a little bit about shadow work.
Yeah. So
this is where the deep work really comes in. And like we said, we weren't lying. Get to the next step. It starts with this. And I'm a firm believer, what you see on the outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. If everyone takes it back to themselves and starts working on their stuff, man, that'll be an instant planet flip.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we're going to tune out. Thank you for joining us. Again, please make sure you like and subscribe. Share this out. Invite your friends. Definitely go get your tickets. And stay tuned because I have a little commercial for you. You can see who our speaker lineup is if you haven't already. And we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.